I think it's important that we acknowledge that we're at a crossroads in relationships, in traditional cisgendered relationships, that because of things that have changed culturally in the world of rights, in the world of science and understanding about needs and emotion, that there has been a need for our relationships between partners to change. The expectations have changed. That's all there is to it. And I recognize that that's a hard thing for a lot of women to claim and take ownership of, because it feels like I either tolerate being in something where I don't get my needs met, and so it's easier to then hide, pretend, ignore, deny what I actually need, how I actually feel, what's actually important to me, and create a story or an understanding or a narrative that's like, they don't mean it like that, or they'll come around, or they're having a bad time right now, or this is just how it's always been, or I can't expect more. Some version of those types of narratives that allow us to stay inside of situations that don't work. And the cost to us to do that is really high. The reality is relationships require some things that are undeniable if they want to be lasting and healthy. And in order for you to feel satisfied and happy, relationships have to be healthy. Just think about how much time you spend thinking about, worrying about, wondering about relationships that are not going well. They're a time suck. They have such a massive influence on how we feel in our day-to-day life. It's undeniable. Healthy relationships require two people, so this is you two, who are willing to take responsibility for things, and that's intended and unintended, especially unintended impact. Just because you said something one way and you intended it to be like to land a particular way and it isn't like that doesn't absolve you of responsibility. You have a responsibility for the impact that you've had on this person that you care about. There is a need to have a skill at emotional attunement. That is being able to attune to your partner and them attuning to you, and being connected to their inner world, being connected to your inner world, being connected to what's happening emotionally, how you're feeling, the things that are going on in your world that are causing stress or bringing you joy, and being willing to and able to acknowledge, celebrate, support inside of all of that. There is a requirement to understand how to deal with a rupture or conflict in a relationship and how to repair that. That a disagreement, a difference of opinion, feedback doesn't mean there's a massive problem in the relationship. It's impossible to spend the kind of time that you spend with a partner and not have a disagreement, not have a difference of opinion. That's impossible. That is just not a thing. So if you've seen it happen before, people have told you that it's happened before, it's likely that one of the people is just not saying the things that really are true for them, or they're ignoring the things that are not true or that are true for them. They're silencing their truth, or adapting in order to fit in on the other side. It is critical. It is a critical skill to learn how to and be able to listen to what is happening for your partner and be able to respond in an emotionally regulated and constructive, conversation focused way. Now, all of these are learnable skills. Generally speaking, we're not taught how to do any of them. Women may be conditioned and cultured inside our society to have to to do that more than men typically are. But that doesn't mean that we women are more predisposed to do it. It just means we've had more practice at it. It is absolutely a learnable skill. And so if you have a partner or are considering getting into a long-term relationship with someone, or you're in the world of dating, trying on people for long-term relationships, it's really important to check out where they're at in their willingness to learn. And not just performative learning, like not just, oh, read the book and then do the thing for a week or something like that. Not just like be dragged along to a couples therapy appointment, but then not do any of the work outside of the sessions, or be resentful the whole time they're in the session. That's not real work. Being in relationships today that are going to be satisfying, bring happiness to your life, be additive to your life, provide support in the long term, are going to require those skills. We call it relational fitness. And I think it's a really important and underrated perspective or skill that people think about when they're looking at relationships. So I thought I'd present that for you today. You have a right to take up space in your relationships. You have a right to have someone reach back for you. You do a lot of reaching, you do a lot of holding of the emotional space, of the mental space, the connection in the relationship. You have a right to want and expect that will be supported back, that will be reciprocated. That is totally reasonable. It is, and it's not too much to ask, even though we may have been conditioned to think that that's the case. So I hope you find that helpful.